Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to Emergency Management Associates. My name's Ron Tyler. We're glad to have you here. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. As we've been doing for quite some time, tonight we're going to start off with the United States National Anthem. I would ask everyone now to please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now would you make welcome straight from Washington, D.C., the United States Army Corps Quartet.
Yeah.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the
Let them know it. The United States Army, United States Army Barbershop Quartet singing the United States National Anthem. We want to thank them for this performance. We want to thank them for allowing us to put this on the air. We want to thank YouTube also for allowing this to go on the air. We really appreciate it. Now, folks, on a somewhat different vein, I'm going to play Oh Canada. We're going to have some visitors from Canada here on the air with us tonight. I'm in just a few minutes after we get through talking about the fires in California. So I'm going to play Oh Canada. I appreciate you all still standing, giving homage also to Canada.
Free.
O Canada. I want to thank the Tabernacle Choir for singing O Canada for us tonight. I want to thank ahead of time Dave Delisle from near Ontario, Canada, and Barry Prince from Terrence, Canada, that will be on the air with us very shortly. I want to first start off tonight talking about the fire that is presently happening in Los Angeles. This is a huge fire. Huge fire. Early this morning, the Los Angeles Fire Department had to bulldoze cars out of the way. As we spoke about early this morning, people came out of Pacific Palisades and tried to get down Pacific Coast Highway. The fire was literally flying down the hillside at the bunch of cars here on Pacific Coast Highway. People bailed out of their cars. Many of them did not leave the keys in the cars. And as a result, the cars could not be moved. So the Los Angeles County, the Los Angeles City, and the LA Fire Department had the cars moved. Let me play this video for you.
Yeah, I want to take you here live right now. So this is Pacific Palisades. All of these cars were ditched. So all of the drivers panicked. They took their keys. This is Palisades Drive, as well as Sunset Boulevard. This dozer is just moving these vehicles out of the way. So if this is your car, unfortunately, it's an emergency situation, and this is what they have to do. They are moving the cars as we speak. Unfortunately, there are dozens of cars. This looks like a movie set. Unfortunately, this is real. LA County Fire, they have to do what they have to do. They need to clear a path. So literally, they're moving the cars, the SUVs. We're seeing Mercedes, very nice vehicles, Teslas up here, but that's because the car owners, they took their keys and they just started running. They left the cars here as the firefighters were trying to clear the pathway, clear the roadway. This is an emergency situation where, they need to get up to the homes. They want to make sure people are not trapped up there. But this line of cars probably goes about 300 feet deep, at least as long as I can see from this bird's eye view. So we're kind of staying back. They're in a situation here where they are literally moving these vehicles out of the way. Yes, it is causing damage, as you can hear from the screeching noises, but that is what they have.
That's what they have to do. That's what happened early this morning. Early this morning, the Palisades Fire, actually last night, the Palisades Fire was 770 acres large. Guess what? It spread. I spoke about that earlier today. The Pacific Palisades Fire tonight is at over 10,800 acres large. There are 4 fires, actually 5. Hearst Fire is 11,000 acres large. The Hearst Fire is 11,000 acres large. The Eaton Fire, E-A-T-O-N Fire, is 10,600 acres large. Then we have the Sylmar Fire, was over 700 acres earlier this afternoon, and I believe it's even larger than that. Now, this afternoon, the firefighters and the police had a news conference with President Biden. Let's play a portion, just a few minutes of President Biden's news conference with the LA fire people.
Folks, the fact is that I think the DOD, Department of Defense, to rapidly provide additional firefighting personnel and capabilities. Also, California National Guard is adding 2 modular air firefighting systems, and 2 more are being created from the National Guard and the Nevada National Guard. And 4 more are coming from the Northern Command. 10 Navy helicopters, water movers, rockets are coming down from San Diego. We're prepared to do anything and everything as long as it takes to contain these fires and help reconstruct, make sure that we get back to home. It's going to be a hell of a long way. It's going to take time. We're really going to stay as long as we need everything we need. Is there anything you'd ask we haven't gotten?
What the country, Mr. President, just first of all, that major disaster declaration was approved. next level of appreciation on behalf of all the residents here in Southern California. As the chief said, we have pre-positioned assets this weekend in anticipation of these weather events. And just publicly, because I think it's important, the president happened to be in the region, in town. It's impossible for me to express the level of appreciation and cooperation we receive from the White House and this administration. So on behalf of all of us, Mr. President, thank you for being here.
Okay, that's what Newscomb said earlier this afternoon. Now, why do I not trust that? Why do I not trust that, guys? Can anybody give me a reason that we should trust that?
Folks, the fact is,
I haven't found out. Okay? I don't trust Biden at all. I also don't trust Newscomb. Now, Biden has authorized DOD elements from the Army, the National Guard, and the United States Navy from San Diego to come up to Los Angeles to fight this fire. Now, I just got a call from Rob52 that's here on the chat. Rob52 also told me that parts of Santa Monica are also on fire. Altadena, California, near that same area, is also on fire. The fire has spread rapidly. It's affecting a lot of Angelinos, Los Angeles people in the LA basin. Numerous communities and cities are also part of this now. It's huge. It's huge. Let me show you this news photographer that went through Los Angeles earlier today.
On the street, yeah. And then Dave, if you can just
oh my.
go ahead of us and try to set up a signal.
This
Right
is what's
here,
left
right
of
here.
Pacific
This is where it's gotta
Palisades.
be. This is, oh my God. What? I've never, look at this. Beyond comprehension. Oh.
Okay, I guess let's park along this street, yeah? And then Dave, if you can just
Again, this is
Oh
in
my.
Pacific Palisades.
try to set up a signal.
Right here, right here. This is where it's gotta be. This is, oh my God. What? I've never, look at this. Beyond comprehension. Oh.
That's unreal, guys. It's unreal. That's what Pacific Palisades looks like. Okay? Not just that, but homes all over the area are burned down. Over 1,000 structures have burned. Over 1,000 structures have burned, and it's counting. These fires are not contained. None of these fires are contained at all. There's a total of 5 fires burning in Los Angeles right now. That's huge. That's huge. Let me play another clip here from an Angelino talking about Mayor Bass.
As Los Angeles is devastated by a rare January fire, I think it's important to note that Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass cut the LA Fire Department budget by $23 million, while using a workforce of 30% of inmates who make between $5 and $10 a day. Rick Caruso, the owner of the Palisades Village, who ran the Department of Water and Power in 2022, stated that there was no water coming out of the hydrants in the Palisades where the firefighters were, and that the issue stemmed from a systemic and mismanagement, and the issue was a city-wide problem that has been going back for years. The firefighters are out there risking their lives, not getting enough water to do their job while the city is engulfed in flames. Neighboring cities, Brentwood and Malibu, also in flames. Families have been displaced, and firefighters are at risk, not having enough water to do the job that they need to do. I wish everybody to safety. God bless.
Okay? Mayor Ken Bass was not even in Los Angeles until late this afternoon. She was in Ghana. She had flown to Ghana earlier this past weekend so she could be in attendance at the new Ghana president's inauguration. She flew to Ghana. She was not even aware that this fire was going to happen. Or maybe she was. Because the other LA administrators had already been planning on this fire because they heard the weather forecast. The weather forecast from all the news stations and the United States Weather Service said that we would be having Santa Ana winds in the Southern California area during the past couple days. And look what happened. She was out of touch. Now her own people, in the press conference this morning, said that Mayor Bass was on her way back to Los Angeles and that she had been briefed about what's going on, and she absolutely knew what was going on from the very beginning. Okay, that's what her people said. But as I just played for you, 2 years ago, Mayor Bass, when she took office, cut the fire department budget by $23 million. Los Angeles Fire Department is working on a skeleton crew. The Los Angeles Fire Department is working on a skeleton crew. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, I want to talk to you about one more thing in regards to the Los Angeles Fire Department. Let me bring up a picture here. This may blow your mind. At least I hope it will. What has happened in Los Angeles is far beyond comprehension. This is a picture of the upper echelons of the fire department with then Mayor Rob Garcetti. Standing next to Rob Garcetti on his left is Karen Crowley, the new fire chief over, or actually, yes, she is. She's the new fire chief over the LA Fire Department. Let me show you a closer picture of the new fire chief. This is actually, it's not Karen, it's Christine Crowley. Christine Crowley. Now, she is the first open lesbian mayor, or lesbian fire chief in Los Angeles. She's the first open lesbian fire chief in Los Angeles. Now, let me tell you something else that she's done. Miss Crowley has set forth something else going on. She's established the first DEI department within the Los Angeles Fire Department. I saw a news conference when she did this from back in 2023. January 3rd, 2023 is when she actually took over. She established a DEI department within the fire department. What does that mean? Diversity and equity. Diversity and equity. What has Biden done? The same thing. Surgery says a DEI hire. You're absolutely right, Surgery. Absolutely right. But what she has done is despicable. She has spent about $2 million bringing in firefighters from throughout Los Angeles County to give them diversity and equity training, because she said that the LGBTQ community, the Hispanic community, and the women within the LA Fire Department were getting bullied. So she decided to bring in the DEI hires. The DEI hires to straighten out the fire department. Now, yes, some people can be mean and bullish. I agree. However, she's turned the entire fire department into DEI. Not able to do their job adequately. And Mayor Bass has gone overboard as well in reducing her budget by $23 million. Reducing the LA Fire Department budget by $23 million. That means adequate fire equipment, trucks and other apparatus can't hit the road. That also means other fire department personnel are not out there as well. And as a result, the state of California has called in Oregon, Washington, and Nevada, and Arizona to come in and help California fight these fires. Yes, now we have probably close to 25,000 acres that are burning. Probably close to 25,000 acres of land that are burning or have already burned. Actually, it's over that. It's well over 32,000 acres that are burned. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Let's go to KTLA Channel 5 in Los Angeles. I'm going to take you live. This is a picture of the video from KTLA showing an apartment complex on fire just a few minutes ago.
All the shops there, most of the shops there, have told their workers to go home because the air quality is so bad. People weren't coming into Melrose. Again, that's anecdotal. That's just from a family member who works over there. But to be specific about these Santa Monica evacuations, the order has been issued. Again, that's an order has been issued north of San Vicente between Ocean Avenue and 26th Street and north of Montana from PCH to 11th. Those are the orders. The warnings have been issued north of Wilshire, west of 10th Street, and they say, City of Santa Monica officials say to prepare for an order. Even if you're in the warning, prepare for an order. Let me try to switch back to the incident map here to show you that. Here on the map, that the green and the red you're seeing, that's the view of the camera we were just looking at from UC San Diego. And on the left side of your screen, you're seeing those air operations which resumed this morning, thank goodness. Glenn, Lukai, I don't know if you noticed, I'm sure you did, the people standing with Chip at the Eaton fire who were cheering, literally cheers of joy when they saw
We cheered too.
We cheered too. We cheered in
Yes.
the newsroom. It's good to
Yes.
see. Of course, our prayers are with everyone affected. I saw at one point 155,000 homes have been evacuated across Southern California, hoping to get clarification on that. And the Eaton fire, the Pasadena city officials have announced there will be a news conference at 4 p.m. That's coming up here in about 15 minutes. And then following that, a LA Unified Command update for the Palisades fire. That will happen at 5 p.m. Also, I'm just seeing a lot of conversation on social media. Of course, we're hoping to hear from Mayor Karen Bass, who's been out of town. She's been in Ghana on a diplomatic trip as all these fires broke out. A lot of people very frustrated with response, while also being very thankful to the firefighters. I think there can be both worlds where people are frustrated with the lack of water and also very thankful to those who are fighting these fires. As I'm monitoring social media, people have been reaching out all day. Lou, I know people reached out to you in regards to checking on their home in the Palisades. I spoke with Alina, who said they do not encourage that. There are barricades, there are road closures, but of course people have been sneaking around them, trying to go check on their property, which is understandable that people want to see what's going on in their neighborhood, to see if their home survived, but these roads are closed for a reason, and officials have still closed much of the area in Palisades. Malibu, PCH, I know people want to know what's going on there, but please rely on local news, us here at KTLA 5. Wow, what a water drop you're seeing on your screen. Please don't try to go back to those closed areas at this time.
It has to be super
We're not seeing
frustrating.
that water drop.
Absolutely, yeah.
I have had people reach out and just ask, can we get in there? Do you have any information? And I know they've done that to all of us. But just not knowing is the painful part.
Yeah, they say, can you check on a certain address? And it's
Yeah.
like, we can't really do that.
Yeah, but it is nice to see the air operate.
Okay. Unfortunately, we lost our KTLA feed. I'm going to see if we can go back to it. We have 5 people dead, countless homes lost in the Eaton fire in Altadena. Unreal. 5 people now been confirmed dead from these fires. It's incredible.
We have cars down here on the streets. They're burning up right in front of the building again. We're on Lake and Mariposa, just down from Altadena. And there's big plumes of smoke coming from Altadena. And then Benton and I, my photographer, we did take a little trip through all the streets just off Lake. And it is block after block after block after block. All homes gone. I mean, you guys, we saw just in our little drive at least 100 homes that were just completely gone. It is just an unbelievable sight over here, down here in the sort of, the community, the city area. Meantime, as I look up into the mountains in Benton, I don't know if you can get that shot. It's interesting that at the very tip top, I still see snow up there. So you've got snow up here, and then down here, it's kind of like hell. You can feel the heat coming from this building. And it's very smoky down here because there are so many things that are still burning. The one good thing is that it's not the winds like we had last night that were just, making this fire roar from hillside to hillside. But still, somehow, building after building is still going up in flames here. The firefighters are very busy. We watch them run down the hill, fill up their trucks with water at the different fire hydrants, and then race back up to another big plume of smoke to put that out. Within the past hour or so, we have seen, one helicopter drop over here. But that's about it as far as helicopter drops in our area. Again, over at the Lake, Altadena, Lake, Mariposa areas. But this little community, it was a very popular area. Lots of little spots to have breakfast, dinner, lunch. This is where people did a lot of their shopping. There's a lot of mini marts that are no longer here. I'm looking at the mini market. That's also gone. Before in some of our live shots, you guys probably saw that other food market that I think Kai told us, was only about 3 years old, that had become quite popular for people to do their grocery shopping in. That is completely gone. There was the mosque down the street here that also had a bunch of restaurants and different realty businesses. That's all gone. It's just unbelievable to see just how this community is just burned down. I can't even imagine how long it is going to take to rebuild it here, rebuild all these homes. And speaking with some longtime residents earlier, Wayne and Marsha, they were just absolutely lovely, and it was really hard for them to just kind of look around here and see everything that they have been a part of for decades is no longer here. The things they would do every day, those spots they would go to for breakfast, the places they would go to worship, no longer here. I mean, their lives are truly, truly altered. And sorry, didn't mean to, sorry, I almost hit someone. But it's just devastating to look around here and see just everything going up in flames. And again, the one good thing is that the winds are completely different today. They're nothing like they were last night, and I know they are warning that there's going to be another wind event coming in on Friday. Hopefully it'll be nothing like what we all experienced overnight last night.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. Folks, it's unreal. You've all seen it now. You've all seen it. I'm at a loss of words to even describe this terrible event. I've seen fires in Los Angeles before. I've seen fires up in the hills around Malibu. I've seen fires in the eastern mountains around Los Angeles in San Bernardino County. I've been there. I helped establish communication command posts there and in the hills around San Diego County as well. It's incredible what's happening here. I've never seen this kind of destruction before in my life. Never before. Now, someone just said just a minute ago that they have a question about this not being natural fire. The investigation is ongoing right now. The investigation is still ongoing right now, but I found out this information earlier, and I want to share it with you. Okay? The city of Los Angeles has declared a state of emergency as a rapidly moving wildfire has surged to 2,921 acres. That was earlier today. It's far beyond that. It's far beyond that. What I'm going to show you just right now is what may be going on. Okay? Look at this NOAA infrared map. Look at this NOAA infrared map. That dot is where the fire started. The dot that you see here is where the fire started. There is some talk out there. And I heard it last night first. But until this afternoon, I had no proof of it. There is talk out there that this was a DEW fire. Similar, not magma, guys, not Ruthie, it says magma, no. Not magma. There is an opinion out there that there was a DEW weapon, similar to what happened over in Maui. A DEW weapon that lit off this fire over in the Pacific Palisades. I don't have any more to confirm it than this. I'm going to continue digging out more information than this. But of course, the LA media and the national media is not reporting on any of this. Okay? They're not reporting on any of this. Okay? It's incredible. Live free or live free or die says came from Area 51. I don't think so. I don't think this has anything to do with Area 51 at all. Okay? This may be another deep state issue. This may be another deep state issue. Okay? I want to show you this because some people have been talking about it. And I just found out more of this information this afternoon. So I wanted to share with you. Okay? It's incredible. It's incredible. Cowboy Roy Rogers says, is that fire line directly on top of a fault line? We don't know. We don't know. Cowboy Roy Rogers is also asking, is the magma pushing up to the surface to natural gas coming out of cracks? We don't know. I'm going to find out more information probably within the next 24 to 48 hours. I have my people looking into that. If any of you have any further information about that, don't hesitate to send me an email. Our email is going across the bottom of your screen right now. rltnspdema@gmail.com. Also wanted to tell you, Carol and I checked our post office box. Post office box address is 104 North Green Street, Box 105, Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. We have not had any mail since this time last week. we'd appreciate mail. We really would. Carol and I love mail. Carol loves to see the cards and the letters. She loves that thing. So if you guys want to write to Carol and or me, please send us the mail to, again, 104 North Green Street, Box 105, Morganton, North Carolina, zip code 28655. But again, I wanted to show you this map. This is an infrared National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration map, a satellite map from the GOES satellite. Okay? Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, folks, I told you that we would be seeing our friends from Canada here on our chat. I'm going to call them right now to bring them into this program tonight. Let me see what I can do here. Just a second, guys. I'm trying to pull up. Just a second. Gonna have to do it another way. Dadgum. Can't believe it. Just a second. I'm gonna get this done. But like I said, over here in Los Angeles, it's bad. It's very, very, very bad. Nobody could even thought of this happening. Ever. Never. The National Weather Service said several days ago that we were going to be having severe Santa Ana conditions, meaning these devil winds. Santa Ana winds are devil winds coming in off the desert of California. We knew it was going to happen. But what actually happened to start this fire is still under investigation. Now, with that said, do I believe that we're going to get real information from the investigation? No. Just like over in Maui, I don't think we're going to get that information. I just doubt it. I highly doubt it. Kanita Warrior says devil winds no good. I agree. I've been in Santa Ana conditions before. It's pretty bad.
There we are.
Hey, Dave. Can you bring up...
Hey, how you doing, brother?
Good. Can you bring up Barry?
I should be able to get him.
Awesome.
Let's find out. There we go.
Awesome.
Let's see if he answers. He should be. He's online. Well, at least his Facebook's online. There's Barry.
Hey, Barry.
Rod.
Hey, old buddy. Guys, we have Dave Delisle from Ontario, Canada, and we have Barry Prince here from Terrence, Canada.
Terrence.
I wanted to have them here on the air with us for quite some time.
Oh,
there's a lot of things happening now in our world and in Canada and the United States that I wanted them in on during our program. I wanted to make sure we were going to talk about this, get all the information that was available about what is going on. Okay? So Barry and Dave, welcome to our community here. We love having you here.
Love being there.
Barry,
are you still there, Barry? He might have dropped out. See if I can get him back.
Cool.
There he is.
Okay, I'm back. I clicked the wrong button again on my computer. I do that all.
Yeah, story of your life, push the wrong button.
I'm pushing the wrong button. Anyways, I'm back.
That's awesome.
Don't.
That's awesome. We appreciate you guys being here with us.
So what's up?
What's up, Chicken Butt?
Well, these fires down there in LA, man, those fires are something else. And my prayers are with those people that are putting up with the hell on earth right now, because that's what it is. They're being burned out, and it's growing apparently. So
yeah,
my thoughts are with them.
I just told everybody.
I don't even talking about it.
I just told everybody that we have 5 fires burning. The Palisade fire that started the first is over 10,800 acres. We have the Hearst fire that's 11,000 acres. We have the Eaton fire that's 10,600 acres, and we have 2 other fires. Incredible.
And the only thing that hasn't been fired is Biden.
Yeah, yet.
Yes. Well, you've got 13 days until the inauguration of Donald Trump. Yep. So I'm counting the minutes, because when he gets in there, the deep state is going to be running. They're going to be scurrying. So the light is going to be shone on all the rats in Washington.
Yeah.
And I can't wait, man. I really can't wait. I'm praying that I think they could take a shot at him, Ron. They really, really don't want him taking over the presidency of the United States. You've got 13 days. I don't know if they can get a shot at him, but if they can get a shot at him, they're going to take it.
I agree.
So I pray for the president every day.
I'm praying for him too.
Yeah.
In the back of my mind, in the bottom of my heart, I have the greatest respect for President Trump. But I fear that the deep state will still try to take him out within the next 12 days. I really believe that. I believe that they could take if he is inaugurated in public at the steps on the steps of the Capitol, they may try to take him out there. They may try to take him out at the reviewing stand on the parade route near the Capitol. It's a wide open bulletproof glass reviewing stand. But it's nothing that a missile couldn't penetrate. That's what concerns me.
Yep. Yeah.
Deep state is so evil.
The funny thing is,
Go ahead.
Yeah. The funny thing is that he's doing all the same things, well, in a lot of ways anyway, that the last president that was assassinated, Kennedy, did. And Trump has a better shot at getting it done than Kennedy did.
Yes.
So that's even more reason to worry about what's going on. Guys, please stop. Hey, Sammy, Pepper, chill out.
I don't trust them. I don't trust them any further than I can throw them. Honestly. I don't trust them at all. I haven't trusted the deep
No,
state.
I don't either.
I haven't trusted the deep state for years. And I trust what is going on even less. Okay? I don't trust
And what
the
makes
deep state at all.
it worse is having what Marchand's doing.
Yeah.
That is Marchand and Bragg and Letitia James. They all need to go to jail for about 1 million years.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, most of our elected officials need to be put behind bars. But who's going to do it? I mean, the police forces of the planet are in the back pockets of the government that are in control of the countries. I mean, look at the RCMP in Canada; it's a joke. Look at the police forces in the United States of America. Look at the Department of Justice and the FBI and all the criminality involved in those organizations. Who's gonna level the charges against these people that are destroying our world?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet we still have the what used to be the most favored law enforcement organization in the world, the FBI, and the FBI still is not able to do their job. They're not. The FBI is investigating that event.
Because they're corrupt to the core.
Yeah, and yet they're investigating that event on January 1st.
Well, they're corrupt.
Are we going to find out exactly what happened over in New Orleans and over in Las Vegas? I doubt it. Are we going to find out who put the cocaine in the White House? I doubt it. Something's got to be done.
Well, it's one of two.
Oh yeah, there's one or two.
It was either Kamala or Biden.
Yeah, true.
One of the two.
Son. Yeah, one of the two.
It's incredible.
And by the way,
got a little bit of that. Christopher Freeland got a little of that too, Dave.
Well, yeah. Sharing with friends.
Yeah, no.
All deep state friends.
I've never seen anybody twitch so much in my life as that lady in front of a camera. I mean, she's got the twitches, and those twitches, I tell you, that's all cocaine induced, man. So Christopher Freeland
Wouldn't surprise me.
But
Nope.
nothing these individuals do would surprise me.
No, me either.
Nothing.
Not at all. Not at all. I just fear.
I don't know that.
Go ahead.
I don't know that Cash Patel on his own with the FBI. I think if Dan Bongino was in the Secret Service, between the two of them, they could clear the whole house out.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Well, they're gonna. Yeah, and Kennedy is going to straighten out the vaccination programs in the states. He's going to go on the warpath against the vaccine companies. I love it. I love what Kennedy represents and what he talks about. I've listened to his videos, and he is so anti-vaccine, it's not even funny. And he's going to be in charge of the health department of the United States of America.
he's not against vaxxers. He's against people being forced to take them. And he wants to know what's in them, which, can you blame him for that?
Well, some of the videos I've listened to him talk, he's questioning the efficacy of the vaccination programs, what's actually in them, and he's comparing them with other onsets of diseases amongst the American population. And boy, you take a look at the increase in vaccination programs in the States, and you put it on a graph and then put it beside a graph of the increase of all the disorders that you're facing as a society. I mean, the United States is the sickest nation in the world, yet you spend 10 times as much as the next closest nation on healthcare. So you're spending billions of dollars on healthcare, yet you've got the highest rates, well, almost the highest rates of ADHD. I mean, every cognitive disease known to man, the United States is just about at the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
So why is that? Why is it a country spending 10 times as much on healthcare as any other country in the world, and yet they have the sickest population in the world? What is going on? Obviously, the system isn't working, but it's working good for the people that make their money off big pharma, Dave?
Yeah, it
those
is.
Individuals that make billions and billions of dollars off vaccination programs, they know their products are harming people, and they continue to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I believe it was Bush that brought in the legislation where you can't go after them either.
Gave them immunity
Yep.
Yeah.
against prosecution for any harm done by their products. So
Yeah.
what kind of a business is that, man? You can make
Yeah.
anything you can make anything you want, unleash it on the public, and boy,
No
you don't have
recourse.
to worry about no recourse. So that's all wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. It's bad. It's really bad. You know, and we keep hearing all kinds of stuff happening that the FBI and the deep state are behind, and yet nobody's going to do anything under this president. Nobody. Nobody's lifting a hand. Unreal. They're getting away with it. But President Trump has said that the minute he takes office, all that has happened is going to stop. Everything's going to stop. So we'll see what happens. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, yesterday, something happened in Canada with Trudeau. You guys want to talk about what Trudeau said in his news conference yesterday?
Yeah. The fact that he's never going to allow us to become part of the U.S. Yeah. He's a little guy with a big mouth, just like his father, Castro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yet he said he's resigning effective immediately as soon as he can get somebody else in there to take his place.
Yeah, but they could be 4 months. They could be 3 to 4 months before they get their poop together for a liberal election conference or an election race. I mean, it could be 3 to 4 months before they actually have another person in place to take over for Trudeau. So meantime, he is going to be sitting in the Prime Minister's office, and he's going to continue to do damage to this country till the day they drag him out of there kicking and screaming.
Yeah,
that's it.
He is the worst thing that's ever happened to Canada. What he's done to our country in the last 10 years, it's going to take 2 to 3 generations to fix, literally.
At least
2 to 3 generations to fix what he has done to Canada. Oh, it's unbelievable, Dave. Unbelievable. Whatever he touches, everything he touches, doesn't matter what we talk about. Anything he touches, everything that he touches turns to poop. It does.
Yep. Well, the worst part here is that now there is 3 options of what could happen. And one of the lawyers, the guy used to be a lawyer in Toronto that's involved with the political stuff now, is taking Trudeau to court because him proroguing is apparently against the law, the way that it was done. So we'll see what happens with that. However, on the other side of the coin, you have the other 2 options, which are Trudeau wins this prorogue thing, and it goes, they say it'll go until March, but he could actually prorogue it until October. And in that time, he can still continue to destroy the country.
Yep.
Now, the third part would be where, he gets to prorogue it. He still destroys the country as much as he can, steals as much as he can because he's a thief. And we end up in March where there's a vote of no confidence. I'm not so sure that's going to happen. Trudeau is trying to hang on to power. He's already said that he's going to run again in the next election. He's got all these kids from overseas that are in Canada that can vote. And they're going to vote to keep him in because they want to stay in Canada. How do you like that?
Yeah. I didn't know about those kids elsewhere that could vote and keep him in office. I had no idea because all I have been hearing is people in Canada don't want him there, and people in Canada want to join the United States.
I would say that a very, very small percentage of the people in Canada want to actually join the United States. That has been thrown around here for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I don't see a lot of support amongst the general population of the Canadian people for that kind of idea. If it was up to me, I'd join you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the thing.
Your
The
system
West
of government is way better than ours. Go ahead.
and yeah, the West would do it. I believe that. I believe the majority of the people in the West would do it. Now, the people in the East here, well, Quebec doesn't want to do it. Although Quebec is their own country, technically. They have their own laws. They're under common law. We're not. See, they didn't sign on to anything. Everybody else did.
Dave, can you explain common law? So everybody
Well,
understands?
the common law is basically you're considered a man and a woman. You're not a number. Under the Mariner system, basically, is what the rest of the country's under, which is you're basically on a ship, and they dictate to you what's going to go on. They say you have a right to vote, but you really can't make any decisions on anything here. Quebec does. They make decisions for their own. And a lot of it affects the rest of Canada. It's maritime law or something that they use for the rest of Canada. And it's crazy.
What Quebec gets from Canada, it rubs me all the wrong way. I mean, the transfer payment systems, where Alberta puts out millions and millions and millions of dollars to Quebec and gets nothing back for it.
Yeah.
That whole system is wrong. And Quebec is put on a pedestal above all of us in Canada. The Laurentian elite, they did their job. And the three wise men from Quebec, they did their job. And boy, I'll tell you, they need to be put in their place. But that is not happening. And that pisses me off, Dave. It really does.
Yeah, it does. Well, Quebec is actually following what Europe does, what France does. Their laws are the same as what it is in France. And my wife just corrected me and said that we're under common law, but they're under the whatever it is that the French in France have. And it's totally different.
Wow.
It's a totally different thing. They make decisions for their own, whereas the rest of Canada has no say in it. But they can make decisions for Canada, for the rest of Canada, and take our money, transfer payments and that, and it's okay. And these are things we need to separate from. I'm all for separating from Quebec. I really am. Separating from Quebec, I'll even throw in Ottawa and Toronto as a parting gift.
You can have them.
Catherine Sigerson, who lives in Manitoba, is in the chat saying Ontario might join the United States. What do you guys feel?
No. A lot of people may want to, but none of the people I'm talking to do. See, for me, I love America. I love Americans. I mean, a lot of my family's American, and my ancestral family, First Nation, Miami Indians, and I like the culture here. I want to keep our culture, what's left of it.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
There's things about joining the states that I like and things that I don't like. I like the idea of a super continent, a super country. I mean, they would get our resources, but we don't get anything out of our resources anyways, Dave. When you think about it.
I know we don't.
I mean, we have the most resources of any country in the world, and yet we're totally screwed out of everything that's good out of Canada. So,
how many of them are owned by China, Barry?
That's the other
thing. It. We've been sold out to China. They own a lot of Canada. They own a lot of companies in Canada.
Mines,
because the government allowed, and mines. The government's allowed them to take it. So we've got to change the government. And to me, joining the United States, especially if Trump is running the show down there, I like the idea of being under his leadership. I really do. So here Paulie is. I believe he's a player, man.
I do
believe
too.
he's
He's a
saying a lot of
puppet.
good things, a lot of things for good people. He's got all Canada eating out of his hands right now. He's ahead in the polls by double digits. He's going to be the next prime minister, but there's things about him that I just don't trust, and his wife especially. So
Yeah,
that's a
WEF.
conversation. WEF connections, and they're blatant and they're undeniable. So
Yeah.
he's talking out of one side of his mouth, saying he's not going to have anybody in his caucus involved in the World Economic Forum, and yet his wife is involved in the World Economic Forum. So that is kind of an issue with me. Dave, go ahead.
Well, figure it this way, Barry. If Trump really wanted to come over here, he wouldn't have to send the military. Just send 2 kids with pea shooters. We don't have a military.
We don't have anything for military.
Why is that?
Oh, we bought new jets this year. We bought new jets. We bought Australia's F-18s.
Yeah, used.
F-18s that were sold to Australia by the United States that were now sold to Canada. Wow.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Why does the Canadian Navy have glass-bottom boats? So they can see the old Canadian Navy.
Holy cow. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh.
Okay, hold on just a second. I got to take this phone call, guy.
No, but my worry is if Canada doesn't have an army or really has no military, what's going to stop China from coming in and running roughshod over all of you? And then all of a sudden Canada becomes a territory of China, and we have the Chinese knocking at our northern door.
Yeah.
What then?
You mean other than the fact that they're already in Cuba and in Mexico? Yeah.
Yeah. That's the other issue.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that I wholeheartedly believe that Trudeau has already sold us out to China.
Yeah.
He admires the Chinese.
Yeah.
And the way that they're...
I'm worried because 3 or 4 years ago, us down here in the South were told that the Chinese were already in Vancouver.
They are.
They are.
There's a lot of... Yeah, they are.
I've heard of them. I've heard of them being off the coast, the north coast of British Columbia here, on an island, and they had a bunch of military exercises off the coast of the Queen Charlotte. And I got that information from very reliable sources. So they're here.
Wow.
Yep. It's very interesting.
Well, Trudeau loves the Chinese. He loves the basic Chinese dictatorship. He stated that publicly. He's totally in bed with what the Chinese believe and their way of life. He wants to be a dictator. That was his objective. He's not going to be able to do it now. Unless he pulls off a real sneaky thing and gets reelected as party leader. We had an open election, guys. We put the word out, and yet nobody filled the boots. So I'm back.
Wow. Yeah, well, that's the thing.
I believe he's going to do something like that, Dave.
I believe it's possible.
A snake in the grass. Well,
I believe it's
snake
possible.
in the grass.
Why do you think he's got all these immigrants in the country? Because he, with his policies, will give them everything. And of course they're going to vote for the guy that's giving them everything, and they won't vote for somebody who's going to take it away.
Yeah.
Or send them out of the country.
Well, let's just hope the polls are correct and that we finally get rid of this guy for good. And I'm not saying Poilievre's the answer, but he'd be a fix for the time being. I believe the PPC party is the party of the future in Canada. If we could get a leader outside of Maxime Bernier, because he'll never get the PPC to the point where the public will listen to him. If we had a dynamic leader in the PPC, a Poilievre or somebody of those stature, somebody that can talk to the public and put the platform in front of the public the way it's laid out, because I've read the platform and I like it. I like
I like
everything
it
about
too.
what the PPC says.
The,
So, but we
the
don't
problem,
get the publicity because of Maxime Bernier.
the problem, Barry, is that it's all about Maxime. It's not about the party. It's about Maxime. All the money goes to Max, all the work you put in. And I know because I ran as a candidate. And the people that are involved in that party and have been involved in the past in the party are all smart people. We're all about doing what's best for the country and the people. And we've been told, I mean, by Max himself, that, hey, you don't have to vote along party lines. You can vote your conscience. That's important to me. Because if I don't agree with a policy, I'm not going to vote for it just because.
Yep.
And that's what we need in this country. All the other parties have it set so that the way the leader votes is the way everybody else votes, whether you like it or not. And I don't. And I do believe that Max needs to go and allow somebody else to come in and run the party the way that we, the people, and we, the patriots who are in the party, have it set.
Who does Max
where
represent?
We're about the people and the country.
Who does Max represent?
Agree.
The People's Party of Canada.
Wow.
Which is polling at, I believe we're at 4% now, which is up a point.
Yeah.
People are starting to pay attention, but not in the numbers that we need to make a change. And if you read the PPC platform, everything about it makes sense to me. Everything.
Yeah. And me.
So, yeah, but to get the rest of Canada to listen to it, it's like knocking your head against the wall because of Maxime Bernier. Once they see Maxime Bernier, they don't want anything to do.
That's right.
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to see it. So he's got to step down and allow somebody to take the party over that has a dynamic personality and could take it to the places it can go, because the platform resonates with me. And I think if Canadians started reading the platform, it'd resonate with them too. But
and we need a
Biden, the news is
constitution.
Biden gave another $500 million to Ukraine today.
Yeah.
Isn't that great?
I can't believe he's doing this.
500 million to Ukraine today.
That's it. I'm changing my name to Ukraine, and maybe he'll send me some money.
Yeah.
Oh man, oh man.
Why is he doing that?
What are your thoughts on the Ukraine?
What are your thoughts on that war?
What are your thoughts on that war?
Biden is laundering money through Ukraine that's coming back and filling his pockets.
Yeah.
Of course he is. Of course he is.
That's what's happening here too.
War? What do you think of the Ukraine war, Ron?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
I think it shouldn't have happened.
No.
I think that it was because of what the West did, the meddling that the West did, that it happened. And Putin says the same thing. That's the one thing I agree with him on.
Gosh. Just irritates the crap out of me. It really does. That's just wrong. That's wrong in so many ways. Gosh.
Every time we stick our hands in any of these other countries, things blow up in our face.
Yeah, true.
We've sent $9 billion to the Ukraine as a country. $9 billion from Canada to the Ukraine in the last 18 months.
Jeez.
You know what $9 billion could do for the homeless in Canada? We wouldn't have a single person. We wouldn't have a single homeless encampment. We wouldn't have a single homeless person living on the streets. Period.
Yeah.
There'd be enough money for everybody to have a residence. Period. With $9 billion. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And yet he's given it to the Ukraine because he's in bed with Zelensky. He loves Zelensky because Zelensky's the same kind of person that Trudeau is. They're all in the same boat. Yeah. That's why Trudeau loves the Ukraine. That's why he's given $9 billion of our money. Who gives him the right to do that? I mean, did we get a national referendum saying, can we send $9 billion to Ukraine? Folks, $9 billion of taxpayers' money. You know how much money that is?
We have an illusion that we're a free country. It's an illusion, is what it is.
It's a total illusion. We are so controlled and so manipulated and so under the thumb of the government that it boggles my mind, Dave. And yet people think we're in a democracy. We're not in a democracy. We're in a dictatorship.
The dictator in
what's going to happen?
The dictator in Canada and the dictator in the United States are laundering money through Ukraine to pad their own pockets. That's what's going on.
And that's why all the pardoning's going on.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And it's unfortunate because, the reality is that the idiot over here, his idea for fixing the homeless problem is bring more people in. I mean, the guy, it makes absolutely no sense.
No.
And maybe in his own mind. I mean, he's a legend in his own mind, but that's about it.
He doesn't even have a mind anymore, in my opinion.
Yeah, listen, I tend to agree. I mean, his wife left him, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
Yeah.
There's a
the
reason
guy ain't right. He ain't right in the head.
No. He hasn't been right in the head for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
Very long time.
Well, you talk about pedophiles and stuff. The guy paid off some kid when he was supposedly a drama teacher because he was playing with a young kid, had to pay them off, and that information is buried. I mean, it's there, but you cannot access it.
Why
because he signed an in.
One of the first things he did when he took over as prime minister, he lowered the age of consent for anal sex to 16 years of age.
Yeah.
Why would anybody? Why would somebody prioritize that kind of a law? Why was that put through? What the heck is he thinking about? What the hell is he doing to our youth, man?
Look what Biden did. Look what Biden did 2 years ago. He held a gay LGBTQ festival on the South Lawn. People paraded around nearly nude at the White House. What the hell is going on?
They parade nude in Toronto, right down Main Street, Toronto.
Yep.
With the LGBTQ, XZ, whatever is having their parades.
Yeah.
60-year-old men walking down the street with their balls hanging out. And little children being exposed to that. What the hell is going on in my country?
And ours
too. But what about the stuff in the schools, Barry? I mean, we got
that's
bullshit.
Like, excuse me.
Look, if you think about it, Trudeau being at that Taylor Swift concert giving out friendship bracelets, what the hell does he need to be giving out friendship bracelets to little girls?
That just aggravates
Was he looking for a date?
Yeah. That just aggravates me to no end. You want to make Ron pissed? That's the way to do it. That's exactly the way to do it.
I believe he's homosexual. I believe he's homosexual. I absolutely believe he's a homosexual pedophile. Trudeau.
Yeah. Listen, I believe he's a switch hitter.
Yeah, well, if he had a relationship with his wife, that would be because it's made up.
Well, he's got a girlfriend.
Well, he's got a girlfriend. Who's he got for a girlfriend? Jolly?
Yeah.
Jolly?
Yeah.
I don't believe anything I hear, Dave. Especially if it comes out of mainstream.
I get pissed about it. That just really, man. Yeah, I get mad.
Infuriating with seeing the way that this guy's run our country into the ground, what he's done in our society, what he's done to our culture, what he's done to everything that means to be a Canadian. He has destroyed.
Well, North America, in North America, where's the morality?
Exactly.
It's all gone downhill.
Anyways, gentlemen,
evil is reigning.
I've got to step out. I've got somebody coming into the house. I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. Thanks for having me come in and share some ramblings this afternoon, Ron.
Thank you.
But I am going to step out of here, okay?
All right, Barry, thank you so much. God bless you, brother.
Okay.
Take care, Barry.
Thanks, Barry.
Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Talk soon.
Okay,
Bye.
bye-bye.
That was Barry Prince from Terrence, Canada, guys.
Paris.
Or Paris.
Paris.
Paris?
Paris, BC.
Terrace, BC. How about that? I appreciate him so much for being here. It's always fun to have Barry here. Always have fun when Barry's here. But guys,
yeah,
it's
Barry's
serious.
a good guy.
Yeah,
Barry and I have known each other for quite a few years now, so.
It's unreal.
Yeah, just like you and I, Ron.
Yeah.
We've known each other for a while now.
Yeah. It's great. It's really great.
And we're trying to stop the nonsense that's going on in this world, but so many people bought into it. And the people in California, I feel sorry for them, but they voted this stuff in on themselves.
Yeah, they did. But the same thing here in the United States, and in every state here in this country, we voted for it. They are allowing drag queens, men dressed up in lingerie, to read child stories in libraries to children. I'm aggravated. I'm incensed. They did that over in Charlotte, just about 100 miles from here, and I almost drove Carol and I to that library in Charlotte, North Carolina, and had a fit. They would have thrown my butt in jail for interrupting that session. Those men should never have been allowed to do it. Period. Drag queens dressed as women in lingerie reading children's stories to children should never have happened. Not in my lifetime or yours. Period.
Well, that's why I think that the CIA and the FBI and even the Secret Service needs to be cleaned up, and they need to go after every single one of the people involved in any of this stuff.
I agree.
I don't care if they're politicians or presidents or past presidents. They need to go after them for the real crimes, not the made-up stuff like they're doing to Trump, but the real crimes.
I agree.
And that's why you got all these cockroaches that are just scattering now before Trump gets in. They're going to run and hide.
Yeah.
Because they know that they've been doing wrong.
Oh, man, I get so pissed off.
Yeah, me too.
My wife goes off the rail. You think I'm pissed? You think I am sitting over here and I get incensed and you hear me rant and rave? You ought to see Carol.
Yeah.
When she hears this crap, she goes off the rail.
My wife too.
Oh, unreal. Unreal.
Well, like I said before, Barry used to call me all the time, and he'd rant and rave to me about the stuff that's going on. I just sit back and laugh. It's like, Barry, it ain't worth having a heart attack over.
Yeah.
Just stay in the fight, calm down, think clearly, and let's get through this stuff. Let's clear it up.
Oh, I'm in the fight already. I'm not leaving.
Me either.
I'd like to send them to an island over in the Kuril Islands with a volcano. Take them all, arrest them all, put them on a plane, airdrop them onto that island in the Kuril Islands, and let them roast.
Just send them to that one island that they were using for all the nuclear testing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just let them stay there.
Yeah. Let them stay there.
Because the radiation is still real high there.
Yeah. I don't remember what it was called down in the Mariana Islands.
I can't either.
I had friends of mine from the Philippines that used to serve as police officers on that island, and they came to the United States and told me about it. And you can get paid all kinds of awesome money. If you are a police officer here in the United States, Guadeloupe, the island of Guadeloupe, if you are a police officer or a really good squared away security officer here in the United States, you can get paid mega bucks down in Guadeloupe to be a cop down there. You can live high on the hog. All of your rent is paid for. You might have to buy a little bit of food, but all of your rent is paid for.
Yeah.
Your paycheck is basically free to go. You can make big bucks. Make big bucks.
Yeah.
Oh.
Just don't eat those five-eyed fish.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Gosh. It's unreal. Yeah, I would love to send them down there. Oh, yeah, get rid of them. Get rid of them.
It's just, and the worst part is that, all these years that they were putting people in place, building up the ladder, and now that it's right up the whole ladder.
Yeah.
And now we got a clean house. And that's going to take some time.
Yeah, it is.
I do think it's a good idea for the House and Senate to put through the thing where Trump could sit another 4 years for a third term. That would probably send most of these liberals right out of the country.
Oh,
but don't send them here. Don't come here.
Exactly.
We got enough of those.
Yeah, you got enough nutballs there now. No, they need to go away. I'm afraid if the House and Senate wanted to give Trump a third term, the nutballs would go crazy. They would literally go off the rails.
They would lose their minds.
Yeah, they would. No, I don't. As much as I'd like to see Trump have another term, since there was 4 years between his first and his second term, I would love to see him somehow have the law allow him to spend another 4 years. That would give Trump plenty of time to get rid of the crap that Biden has done.
Well, yeah,
turn things
but
around.
I also think that in that time, in these first 4 years, I think that what will happen is California will end up flipping red, and so will New York.
Yeah.
New Jersey's not far off now.
Yeah.
Massachusetts, not so sure.
Massachusetts has been liberal blue for as long as I can ever remember.
Yeah.
Unreal.
And I don't understand what it is that is so attractive.
I don't know.
I mean, if you look at California, that's what liberal blue does.
Yeah. Yeah. Liberal blue has gotten California, which is the largest. It's second in population to Texas, but it is second in population and as large as that as well. But California has gone from when Arnold Schwarzenegger had it, with a balanced budget when he had it, and under this idiot, it's gone tail up, literally.
Yeah, basically bankrupt.
Yeah.
Well, Newsom had to back off on paying reparations.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have any money.
Yeah. Still doesn't.
I mean, which is ridiculous in the first place. Like, I don't know. The logic is just, it's beyond anything I can comprehend, I'll tell you.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. I find it so freaking hard. Find it so freaking hard to understand how it got to the way it is. I believe there are enough people that could have stopped it.
Yeah. See, I happen to think that with all the rigging and that went on again this year in a lot of these blue states, that they should have flipped red.
Yeah.
But, of course, with all the rigging, and I'm sure a lot of illegals were voting, and I'm sure a lot of people who died have voted blue.
Yeah.
And, I hope that when I die, I don't vote for liberals, I'll tell you. I ain't doing it in my life, and I don't want to do it in death either.
No, me either. Me either. Fortunately for us, things are starting to change. I don't think that anybody's going to allow these lemonheads to do that when we die.
Yeah, I
don't
hope
think.
not.
I hope not. It's possible,
Well,
but I hope not.
That's why they need to bring in the new rules.
Yeah.
They need to get some new rules about voting and make sure that everything's on the up and up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I say, you know, with this, and it's not even Biden. I'm almost 100% positive it's Obama calling the shots.
I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
And he's in his third term or fourth term, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that stuff needs to be stopped.
I think under Trump, Biden could go, or not Biden. I think Biden's so far gone that no court would convict him. But Obama and Hillary could end up going to jail. And
Absolutely.
Pelosi and Schumer and McConnell could go to jail.
Yeah, and several others too.
Oh, yeah. Several others.
You know, Ilhan Omar and AOC and a bunch of them. They need to go.
All that squad, that huge squad that has developed. I think they called it a gang of 5, and now I think it's 7. They all should be arrested.
Get them for RICO.
Yeah. And it should be made a law that no one, absolutely no one, that has ever been a citizen of an Islamic nation should be allowed to serve in our House of Representatives or in the Senate. That's how we got these dirtbags.
In Canada here, there's a group of Islamic Caliphate that are having a big meeting to push for Sharia law.
Gosh.
And they're allowing all this to happen. But then again, we give, these terrorists, bring them back, they're a Canadian citizen, give them $10 million for the hassle they had for going to Gitmo.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
Either you're against it or you're for it. By doing that, you're not against it. I happen to be against that stuff.
They tried that, I believe it was in Minnesota, and they tried that over in Michigan. It didn't work. However, they changed the street signs to Islamic.
Yep.
They changed the street signs to Arabic about 4 years ago.
Yeah. See, they're doing that, though, here, too. And, the reality is, if you're going to come to the country and respect it, I have no problem with you. If you come here and disrespect it or disrespect the way our laws and our culture is, you should not be here.
I agree. I totally agree. You disrespect me and you and a bunch of others of us that are so far red, look out. You're going to get burned. You will be burned.
Somebody wants to marry a 6-year-old girl, I have an issue with that. They wouldn't live a day. You get anywhere near me, you're not going to live another day. No, I was brought up with strong moral values. That's just not going to happen.
I should say they might live a day in jail, but that's all. That's all. I catch them, they're toast.
Yeah. Well, even both here and over there, the gun laws.
Oh, yeah.
They want to take the guns away from the honest people.
Yeah.
And they think that, if we ban guns, that the criminals are just going to turn their guns in. And same here. And they're nuts. I don't know any criminals that would do it.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, you want to get me mad? Oh, Ron will come bouncing. Ron will come bouncing. Yeah. I'll go ballistic. I'll promise you that.
Well, I think that a lot of people, especially here in Canada, would be having, problems with them when they say, we're coming for your guns. Oh, I lost them all in a boating accident.
Yeah.
See, a lot of people losing their guns in boating accidents.
A bunch of them. Oh, a bunch of us. Yeah, mine are already hid in that boating accident.
Yeah. They fell overboard when I was trying to catch a fish.
Unreal. Unreal. Gosh. I had a cop a lot of years ago, back in the 90s, who gave me a throwaway weapon. I couldn't refuse it. I tried.
Yep.
He refused to take it back. So I went out on a fishing boat within a few days after that and tossed it overboard. I did not want to be caught with that throwaway weapon. Yes, cops, all kinds of cops abuse them throughout the years. But I never wanted to get caught with a throwaway weapon. Never.
Yep.
Not going to happen. You know, I tossed it in the big Pacific Ocean about 8 miles out to sea. Never heard from again.
Well, exactly. But I mean, for us, you know, we want guns for personal safety, whatever. But the reality is, I want them to eat. And last I heard, you shouldn't eat people. So moose, you know, deer, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm good with that. To hunt and to eat. But I'm not hunting people to eat.
No. Not going to happen.
And I'm not taking somebody's life for nothing.
No.
Excuse me.
I'll take it to preserve my life or my family's or yours or somebody else's. But no, I'm not going to take it just to be shooting them. Not going to happen.
I agree. It's insane. But the way that, I don't know, people need to get back to church. They really do. They need to get back to religion. And I don't care what religion, just get back to religion.
Get back to God.
Yeah.
Get back to God.
But I mean, whatever they call God, I mean, just get back to God.
Yeah. You know, I've said this so many times, and I put up short videos on my Facebook page. I put up memes on Instagram talking about our relationship with Jesus Christ. And I'm going to continue to do it because I believe that can heal us. Having a relationship with Jesus Christ can heal us.
But it's got to start somewhere. I mean, it's got to start with the family, first of all.
Yeah.
Secondly, you need to put it back in the schools.
Yeah.
I know here in the Catholic schools, they have prayer rooms for the Muslims because a lot of Muslims are French. They speak French.
Right.
And that's fine. But I don't want to have people in Catholic schools teaching kids how to kill other kids.
No.
And that's happening in a lot of the mosques. And that is terribly wrong with the government not controlling that.
Yeah, I agree.
The police will go into a church and look for guns, but they will not go into a mosque here.
Either here. They won't do it. I've been told by people that are familiar with the events that the FBI won't even go into mosques.
Yeah, what's that tell you?
Unreal. Unreal.
It tells you there's two sets of laws. One for thee, but not for me.
Yeah. Is the FBI, as we know it today, scared of the ISIS and the being called or being accused of Islamophobia?
See, even that, in my mind, Islamophobia is, I mean, it's useless.
Yeah.
Because a phobia is a fear of something that really doesn't exist.
Yeah. True.
But for Islam, it does exist.
Yeah.
Because there are Islamic people, Muslims, whatever, that want to kill you.
Yeah.
And that's not a phobia. That's a fact. You know, like, as I say, you know, if people want to come into the country, I have no objection to people coming into the country that want a better life, want to work with us to make things better.
Yeah.
I do have a problem when people are coming in to lie and then try to kill us.
I agree.
Or take over or change our laws, because that's not the way it should work.
And it's not going to.
Go to Saudi Arabia and try and change their laws.
Yeah.
Because you want it to be different. See what happens.
That in of itself won't happen.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. Not going to happen. Not now, not ever.
Yeah, walk across the border without checking in one of the Islamic countries and see what happens. Or, gee, any other country, really.
Yeah. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I haven't seen it before and I won't see it again. Not going to happen. Our laws will prevent it. However, I've seen the Customs Border Patrol, or actually not Border Patrol, Customs Border Protection. I've seen the video at the border, and I've seen people in camouflage gear coming across the U.S.-Mexican border with firearms, small handguns and large guns.
Yeah, rocket launchers, everything else. Well, that's okay. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Don't you come across the border with a gun or you're in a world of trouble.
Yeah. And that's pretty much the way it is.
Yeah. No, I get it, because I understand that. Like I said, Canada is messed right up.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time.
And I'm not, I don't care personally, you know, as I say. You want to come to the country to work with us to make things better or to get a better life for yourself, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
But don't try to change the things that are here to meet your needs.
True. Don't do it now and not ever, period.
Yeah. Work with us or don't. If you don't, go home. Or wherever you want to go, but not here.
Unreal.
Nothing personal, just the way it is.
Yeah, I agree.
The law is supposed to apply to all, not just some of us.
Yeah. I just put up, I've been showing in the background the feed from KTLA Channel 5 News in Los Angeles showing information about the fire. I'm going to put up this video right now showing the areas where the fire is going. Can you stand by for a minute, Dave?
Yep.
Fire, the Woodley fire, the Sepulveda Basin, that one was knocked down this morning after burning about 30 acres.
And in the San Gabriel Valley, 100,000 people are under mandatory evacuation, with another 100,000 warned to evacuate. Residents in Pacific Palisades and Malibu are also under evacuation orders, with warnings now extending to parts of Santa Monica. The fires are being fanned by strong winds as red flag warnings continue. California Office of Emergency Services reports that some 4 million SoCal residents are without power.
A live look now at the LA Emergency Operations Center, where LA Mayor Karen Bass, as we know and have been reporting, just returned from a trip to Africa. She is on the ground here in Los Angeles. She sent
I've been in this operations center
to join local, state, and federal officials for a press conference to discuss the fight against the Palisades, the Hearst, and the Eaton fires. We are standing by for that. We're expected to join that as it begins in the next 2 to 3 minutes.
In the meantime, we want to go to the ground and over to Alina Aveyah, and so much destruction behind you. She's live in Malibu. Alina.
Micah, Cher, you know, it just looks absolutely surreal out here. Take a look at this house. This is one example, but if you drive along PCH from Tuna Canyon all the way to Carbon Beach, this is exactly what you will see for miles. Dozens and dozens of homes burned to rubble. There are no words to explain the situation out here. We drove that entire stretch that I just referenced, and our eyes could not believe what we were witnessing. I mean, this is the California coast. This is probably the most beautiful stretch of coast in California, and this is what it is reduced to, just utter devastation. And these are multi-million-dollar homes. You can see beachfront properties. People work their entire lives to be able to afford a home here. Some cases passed down by generations, homes that were built by someone's grandparents and passed down. Not to mention the memories tied with these homes, with these properties, and perhaps the family that wanted to leave this home to their son or to their daughter, and all of those hopes and dreams just gone with this fire. It is so sad to see this, so much devastation. Now, we did drive along this stretch of PCH and some landmarks out here like Duke's Restaurant. It has not been compromised. Mastro's Restaurant also seems to be intact. And as far as fire personnel goes, we are seeing some of them out here. They are looking to put out hot spots. A few homes actively burning, but for the most part, this fire really ripped through here overnight and just took out majority of the homes. We don't have an exact count, but I was able to speak with someone with LA County Fire earlier today. He said at least 100 homes specifically along PCH. That number, no doubt, probably updated as they are going around assessing the damage. Unfortunately, not a lot of people out here for us to speak to. We did run into one family. They said that they came out because someone sent them video and they recognized their house. They wanted to come down themselves and to see it, and all they could tell me is that this was a house that their family had for about 10 years. Now you're seeing this mountain here also burned. That's the trajectory of the fire. It came down from Topanga and then eventually ending up here along PCH, and it just went from one house to another to another. So heartbreaking out here, and really is just the beginning as far as assessing the damage and the devastation. I'm Lena Bourbon reporting live. We'll send it back to the studio.
All right.
Okay. Hey, Dave, I'm going to call it quits here in just a couple minutes. I appreciated having you and Barry on. Let's do this again very soon. I don't think we're through talking about this.
Yeah, before we go, James Woods lost his house, in that fire.
Oh,
in one of the fires. And because he's a conservative, apparently the liberals have been laughing at him,
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
So that tells you what the liberals are like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know James Woods, I got him on Telegram, and he's very outspoken.
Yeah,
Definite Trump supporter.
Yeah. Man, that's unreal.
I figured I'd mention that to you.
I appreciate that. There's a lot of people that are conservative over in Pacific Palisades, Santa Monica and stuff. A lot of my friends over there. And I have a feeling some of them may have lost homes. One friend in particular, Ross, that I know from years and years ago, lived in Topanga Canyon. He and his wife bought a house back there, and I believe it was in the 80s. And I was at that house. And I'll bet it doesn't exist now. It's sad.
Well, what's FEMA going to do? They have no money.
No.
So there's going to be an awful lot of displaced people that are going to be very unhappy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time. It's just sad.
It's
so sad it's not funny. It angers me. It angers me.
It is unfortunate.
I think we've all shared tears over this in some way, shape, or form. But it's just insane. It really is.
It is. It really is. Money will go everywhere except to the people in your own country, and that's just insane.
Yeah. And then the insurance companies, I'm being told, including Farmers Insurance and others, are now not selling fire insurance, and they won't be giving reparations to those people that lost their homes and other belongings in the fires in Los Angeles now. They're pulling out of California.
Insurance companies are only out for themselves.
Yeah.
They'll classify anything an act of God, and they get away with it.
Yeah.
To stop paying. And just, it's crazy. It's not the way it used to be.
Yeah.
People used to be honest, and not anymore.
Yeah. They stopped selling earthquake insurance. Now they're going to stop selling fire insurance. Unreal.
Yeah, isn't that funny?
Yeah. Hey, Dave, I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here.
All right, fam. Everybody, Ron, it's good to talk to you guys again, and we'll talk again later.
All right, hope so.
Everybody, take care of yourselves, people, and stay safe.
You got it. Thanks, Dave. God bless.
Right. God bless.
See you soon.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
That was Dave Delisle from over by Ontario, Canada. Dave's been a very long-time friend of mine for a lot of years. But I wanted to show you what's going on here in Eaton, California. Okay? It's unreal.
And I know Marcia, when she was over here, she was quite relieved to see that her school was not burning down. And now, unfortunately, a few hours later, it is begun to burn down. And up the block, we did go earlier to check out some other hot spots, some different popular breakfast joints, as well as Fox's, also a very popular spot. And we have some very upset people about, one gentleman's lost his house, and he's come over to voice his emotions about what's going on here. Obviously, there's a lot of high emotions out here tonight, that's for certain. Also up the block, as we were headed from Fox's, or what was Fox's, back down to see this burning school, we did see that now the Bank of America has also caught on fire. And we can see that has become a big plume of smoke. And again, the winds have kicked up. It's really moving the smoke around. It's really beginning to look more like what we witnessed last night with the winds, all the smoke in the air. Sort of that war zone feeling is what is coming over us right now. At points today, the winds weren't too bad. We did see some clear skies, but as the sun has begun to set here, the winds are changing, the weather's changing, and again, it is just a very a somber sight here to see this historic building going up in flames, Micah. All right, we're going to send it back to you because there's a lot of people with very charged emotions around here.
All right, Mary Beth, we can understand that there are a lot of people that are plainly angry about what's happening in the last day and a half, 2 days. It is just an emotional scene to see your hometown burn down, and the businesses that you went to every day, whether it was the coffee shop, the hair salon, the nail salon, the bank, the schools, the bus stops. It's such a very difficult situation for so many Angelenos right now around the Southland, and there's fear too, that if their house hasn't been burned, that it might be, that they can't get to it. And what do you do? How do you save things?
All right, we're gonna take the press conference now that we've been talking about. Mayor Bass and other officials, city leadership here at the LA Emergency Operations Center.
Everybody.
Let's listen live.
My name is Zach Seidel. I'm Deputy Mayor Communications. I appreciate everybody coming for this important press conference regarding the emergencies facing our city. First, we're going to hear from Mayor Karen Bass. Following that, we'll hear from Chair of the Board of Supervisors, Catherine Barger. After that, we'll hear from County Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Lindsay Horvath. Following that, we'll hear from LA City Fire Chief, Kristen Crowley. Following that, we'll hear from LA County Fire Chief, Anthony Maroney. After that, we'll hear from LAPD Chief Jim McDonnell, then Sheriff Robert Luna, and following that, we'll hear from LADWP General Manager Janice Quinones, as well as Superintendent Alberto Carvalho. The mayor will come back to the podium and open it up for questions. I'll call on questions from the left, and with that, Mayor Best.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I stand here today with incredible sympathy and concern about the devastation and the tragedy that our city and county are facing. And I definitely want to send my condolences to the families who lost loved ones, to the families and neighborhoods who lost property. This firestorm is the big one in magnitude. Hurricane force winds are usually accompanied by rainstorms, but these are hurricane force winds that are combined with extremely dry drought conditions. To provide context, at 10:20 a.m. yesterday, the Palisades fire was at 10 acres. 12 minutes later, it was at 200 acres. To those who fled their homes, especially those who have lost your homes, our hearts are breaking for you, and we stand with you. I know the world is looking at images of our city's devastation. I have seen the front lines of the Palisades fire, and it is staggering. I've been in constant contact with our fire commanders, with county, state, and federal officials. I took the fastest route back, which included being on a military plane, which facilitated our communications. So I was able to be on the phone the entire time of the flight. We are fighting for you and everyone in Los Angeles. Thank you to our first responders who waded in the flames, pulled people from cars, and got them to safety no matter how dangerous. And thank you to everyone who heeded our warnings to evacuate. Tonight, more people may get evacuation orders, and if they do, please leave immediately. If you have an evacuation warning, get ready to go. Protect yourself and each other, and support our firefighters on the front lines. Our strategy included preparations and pre-deployment, and it now includes fire crews from around the state and from our federal partners. We are also adapting in real time. These winds continue to blow. So let me be clear. I am making sure that we leave no resource untapped. Firefighters are now on scene from across the state and across the country. I spoke with President Biden today and Governor Newsom earlier today, and they assured me of full federal and state support. As we head into tonight, we are still facing strong and erratic winds. In Palisades and in Sylmar, we are very much in an active firefight. I can report to you that the Woodley fire, however, in the Sepulveda Basin is under control. I can also report that finally air operations have resumed, and that is a big deal, but it is up to the winds as to how long the air support can continue. But these conditions are highly volatile. We've seen a devastating fire in the Pasadena area. Fires have sparked up in Simi Valley and on the LA and Ventura County line. And as our firefighters do battle on the front lines, all of us must be vigilant. So if you receive an evacuation order, please leave immediately. If you receive a warning, get ready, protect yourself and protect each other, and don't divert firefighters from our strategy. Signals are out and the roads have debris. So stay off the roads unless you are evacuating or have another emergency. Be prepared, food, water, medicine, a bag packed and ready. Again, this is an active situation. And conserve water to the extent that you can. We want to make sure that we are ready if we need more water. But make no mistake, Los Angeles will rebuild stronger than ever. Right now, if you need help, emergency information, resources, and shelter is available. All of this can be found at URL. Los Angeles, together is how we will get through this. Through the heroism of our firefighters, the vigilance of Angelenos, and the spirit of our city. This is a big moment. It is a big moment for all of us to come together, for Angelenos to be united, for Angelenos to be prepared to help each other. This is who we are. LA will rise, and make no mistake, I am confident that we will rebuild. And with that, I would like to introduce LA County Board of Supervisor Chair, Catherine Barker.
Thank you, Mayor, and I want to thank you for your leadership. I know when this first hit, we were in constant contact, so thank you for being a true leader to this great city of Los Angeles. Obviously, as someone who represents the 5th District, we are prone to wildfires, but nothing like what I witnessed today. The Eaton Canyon fire is ripping through a community like I have never seen. It is like a third world country out there. I would ask anyone listening, if you do not need to be in the area and you've been evacuated, please heed the evacuation warning. And if you don't live in the area, please stay away. I was shocked to see people walking around that don't live up there, that are just taking a look at what's going on. We have firefighter and first responders that are trying to do their job, and it's important for us to all support them and make sure that we provide space so that they can get it done. The county has lost many facilities. Our parks, our Eaton Canyon Nature Center, our senior center. I'm sure the sheriff will talk about the fact that we almost lost our sheriff's station, but it's been evacuated. We are going to rebuild. And when we met with the governor and the president, the resources and the promises have been made. And it's going to be our job to deliver. And I am confident, given the resiliency of this great county, working with all of our partners, we will rebuild. And to my friends out there that I have talked to today that have lost their homes up in Eaton Canyon, I am a phone call away, and you are not alone. And to those of you that have lost homes, please reach out for help. You are not alone. It's important for us to recognize that these people have lost everything. In many cases, their entire life savings. So as we move forward, we're going to make sure the Department of Mental Health has resources on the ground, but if you need someone to talk to, reach out. Reach out. Love thy neighbor. So with that, I would like to invite Supervisor Lindsay Horvath up, my colleague who represents the 3rd District Palisades Fire.
Thank you very much. Earlier today, I visited the Westwood Recreation Center, where I was able to listen, to grieve, and to be with evacuees in this time of crisis. To also thank the volunteers, but most importantly, to let each person know in this time of crisis that they're not alone. To everyone feeling the anguish of this tragedy, the county will be here for you no matter what as we recover from these fires. But we're not out of this yet, and we need to continue to follow all guidance from our emergency personnel. I want to thank you for evacuating, for letting our first responders do their job, and for keeping your loved ones safe. Here are the updates from the 3rd District. Since our last press conference, evacuation orders have expanded into Santa Monica to San Vicente, and evacuation warnings now include Montana to Wilshire, Ocean to 11th. Gas shutoffs are affecting more than 15,000 people in Malibu, from Brentwood Country Club to Pepperdine. A boil water advisory is now in effect for LA County Water Works District 29. This is the Sunset Mesa community from Topanga Beach and Coastline Drive on the south to Shore Heights Drive on the north, and from Topanga Canyon Road to Carbon Canyon Road in Malibu, including communities of Big Rock and Carbon Mesa. For more information about water, you can call 800-675-4357. Barry J. Nydorf Juvenile Hall remains in an evacuation warning area. Should the warning become an order, the chief has developed a plan for safe evacuation. Our young people's safety remains my top priority. Today, we also received agreement from the President of the United States to approve a major disaster declaration, which will include individual assistance and public assistance programs. President Biden, we are so grateful. Additionally, our County Department of Mental Health is activated for mental health resources. You can call the helpline at 800-854-7771 for 24/7 support and mental health resources. We know this is a traumatic time. Please ask for help. The county has also invested additional funding into our 211 system to increase capacity. LASA has activated the Augmented Winter Shelter Program to provide shelter to our unhoused community during this time. LA County Assessor Jeffrey Prang has shared property tax installment deferral applications, misfortune calamity damage reassessment applications, and a disaster relief FAQ for property owners affected by the fires. You can go to assessor.lacounty.gov. The Emergency Network LA is coordinating volunteers. To sign up, go to enla.org. In addition, the American Red Cross and LA Food Bank have all set up specific donation websites that you can access at emergency.lacounty.gov. Downed trees and power lines are impacting public transit service, and I want to thank Chair of our Metro Board, Supervisor Janice Hahn, for her speed and waiving Metro fares on today because of station power outages. But please, if you are in a safe place and you don't need to travel, stay put and stay safe. For those evacuating, Uber is providing rides for free up to $40 to get to active shelters. This includes Pasadena Civic Auditorium, Westwood Recreation Center, El Camino Real Charter, Richie Valens Rec Center, and you can use the promo code WILDFIRE25. Tonight, the winds will remain strong, but our resolve is stronger. This emergency will continue. Let's keep each other safe, heed emergency instruction, and pray for the success of our frontline and first responders. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce LA City Fire Chief Kristen Crowley.
Good evening, everyone. As Southern California is continuing to endure some of the most historic fire conditions on record, extreme fire weather driven by strong and erratic winds and low humidity have ignited multiple fires across our region. The LAFD is fully committed to continuously monitoring and adapting to the evolving nature of this weather event and stands ready to respond to any additional incidents that may arise. Now, how did we prepare? We prepared in many, many ways, but I want to focus on two main things. We augmented our staffing levels and strategically pre-deployed our additional resources. In addition, we have recalled off-duty LAFD firefighters to augment our response across the entire city. I'll be providing a brief on a few of the incidents within the city. As we know, the Palisades fire continues to demand significant local, regional, state, and federal resources. Currently, the fire is over 15,800 acres and is growing, with 1,792 personnel who are currently assigned. And as we know, I want to be very, very clear that this incident is very, very dynamic as we speak. The good news, the winds have subsided a bit, enough to allow our fixed wing and rotor wing aircraft to provide critical air support to this fire. Next up is the Hearst fire. The Hearst fire has grown to over 700 acres with 260 personnel assigned to this specific incident. There are evacuation orders in place with multiple structures that are threatened. We continue to focus on fire and life safety. The Woodley incident. It is controlled and approximately has burned 30 acres. I want to clarify a little something before Chief Maroney comes up. The Eaton fire, we are closely monitoring this specific fire. It is in the county, and we are absolutely paying very, very close attention to see how else we can assist. If it does come into the city, we are ready. Now, in addition to the large-scale brush fires, in the past 24 hours, the LAFD has responded to an additional 3,950 911 calls for service within the city. This also includes 10 structure fires. We have treated and transported an extensive number of medical emergencies throughout the city. Now, the LAFD also continues to assess and allocate resources to ensure timely and effective responses across the entire city. As the situation evolves, the LAFD remains steadfast in its mission, working closely with our local, state, and federal partners to mitigate the impacts of this unprecedented fire condition. Also, I want to talk about a few of the challenges and adaptations. Multiple incidents throughout this region. We are going to talk about all of these fires within Southern California. We're utilizing mutual aid partners from across the region, state, and adjoining states, and firefighters are surging into Southern California as we speak. Also, the challenges with water pressure in the Palisades. Standard firefighting adaptations for water. What we do when water is limited. We have the ability to pull water from ponds. We can pull water from pools. We're utilizing as many water tenders that we have, and we're working very, very closely with DWP on this. Next, we will continue to focus. I want to make very, very clear, saving lives first, evacuations, and rescues. We are not out of danger. You can see the active fires that are burning. With strong winds that are going to continue throughout the night, I can tell you and assure you that firefighters and first responders remain focused on protecting lives and property. We urge the public to help us by doing the following. Stay informed through trusted news and official updates. Be prepared to evacuate if you live near wildland areas. Follow all evacuation warnings and orders without delay. We also ask the public to stay off the roadways and away from any of the impacted areas. Now, the LAFD and other partners, we're working so closely together. We are absolutely united in our top priority, and that is saving lives. Ensuring that the safe evacuation and rescue of our residents in harm's way remains our absolute top priority and our focus during this wind-driven fire. Thank you, Mayor Bass, the elected leaders who are here, and for all and every single firefighter, first responder, boots on the ground that are doing the work. Together we can continue to protect our communities and keep everybody safe. Next, I'd like to go ahead and introduce the fire chief from Los Angeles County, which is Anthony Maroney.
So good evening. Thank you for the comprehensive update, Chief Crowley. My name is Anthony Maroney. I'm the County of Los Angeles Fire Chief, and I'm going to give an LA County update in addition to a Region 1 update. For the Eaton Fire in Los Angeles County, Altadena, Pasadena, and Sierra Madre, the LA County Fire Department continues to be in unified command with the U.S. Forest Service and the Pasadena and Sierra Madre Fire Departments, in addition to our law enforcement partners. The fire has been mapped this afternoon at 10,600 acres, and it is still growing. We have 0% containment. We have over 750 firefighting personnel assigned on the line, and mutual aid resources from out of state, including Arizona, have arrived to assist us with this firefight. Unfortunately, we have 5 reported civilian fatalities, a number of injuries, and over 1,000 structures damaged or destroyed. The cause of the fire is unknown and under active investigation by both the Los Angeles County Fire Department, Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and the U.S. Forest Service arson investigators. And the moment we learn the cause of this fire, we will advise the media. We also have a new fire start in the Acton area of Los Angeles County, the Lydia Fire, estimated to be between 80 and 100 acres, 30% contained, and thankfully, forward progress has been stopped. As the Region 1 coordinator, I did request mutual aid from the 5 counties of Los Angeles, Orange County, Ventura, Santa Barbara, and San Luis Obispo counties yesterday. Additionally, last night, I contacted the State Office of Emergency Services and requested 250 additional engine companies from Northern California, staffed with over 1,000 personnel. At this time, the state of California is exercising their emergency compacts with the western states of Arizona, Nevada, Utah, Oregon, and Washington for additional firefighting resources and personnel to come to Los Angeles County to assist us with this widespread fire emergency. One data point is that we have 60 units responding from Oregon, 45 units responding from Washington, 10 units responding from New Mexico, 15 units responding from Utah, and numerous units responding from Arizona. Currently, the National Weather Service has predicted that this red flag warning will remain in effect for Los Angeles County and much of Ventura County through Friday. Thank you, and I would now like to invite up to the podium Los Angeles Police Chief Jim McDonald.
Thank you very much, Chief. I just want to say a few things and not to repeat what's already been said any more than needs to be stressed, but a sincere thank you to everybody who's out there in the impacted area for your patience and your support, to our first responders and support departments who have been out there from the very beginning, doing the very best they can to protect everybody. The word resilience was used, and that's what it's going to be. We're going to be an example of resilience in the very best sense of the word. We're going to bounce back from this, and it's going to be a challenging week ahead, but we're going to be able to get through it by working together. These have been unprecedented conditions, as you've heard over and over again, and the fire has been very unpredictable. That is why the need for vigilance is I can't stress enough how much we've got to pay attention to our neighbors, to our own yards and property, and be able to catch something quickly if we get something sparking off. I think that is critical. This is not over, long from over. Our job primarily is to assist in a support capacity our fire partners with evacuation, with traffic control, and with crime suppression. And on the crime suppression front, you've heard also about the potential for looting, people going in and taking advantage of the worst possible circumstances to be able to enrich themselves. That will not be tolerated at all, and my ask is that everybody stay out of the impacted areas unless you live there, unless you have a real reason to be there. Our officers will be out there, they'll be watching for this, and we're taking this very, very seriously. So I want to thank you again for your work with us, to our media partners, for all that you've been able to do to get the message out there and keep people safe. It's now my honor to introduce Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you all for covering this very important story. So as I stand here before you with my partners around me, please know that I have several hundred LA County deputy sheriffs along with other police officers who are working all the impacted areas out there. They're involved in evacuations, they're involved in traffic control, ingress and egress into the area, they're involved in security. Which the chief talked about, and I talked about it earlier. We're up to 3 arrests with looting. That is 100% unacceptable. I'm going to repeat it. If you do not belong in these areas, do not go there. We have additional people that we've brought in just to make sure that people's property are left alone. These people have gone through so much. Don't put them through more than they have to go through. And then we're on humanitarian missions. I have deputies dropping off food, blankets, and other things to people who have either been evacuated or who just need somebody to talk to and frankly just give a hug to. Those are the kind of things that we're doing out there. I do want to talk about evacuations. Regarding the Eaton fire, we have over 70,000 of our community members who have been impacted by either evacuation orders and or warnings. The Palisades fire, approximately 60,000 who have been impacted by evacuation orders or warnings. As I said earlier, we have called in additional resources, not only for what's in front of us, but looking around the corner, what's next. Both fire chiefs have made it very clear we are not out of danger. There's a lot of work to be done. For me, in my other role as mutual aid coordinator, just to give you an example, as we are not only calling in our resources, we check with other departments, both in the county and outside the county. And we've provided Pasadena Police Department with additional resources, one from the Long Beach Police Department in a mutual aid capacity, and from the Orange County Sheriff's Department. So I'd like to thank those two departments. And that's something we do in law enforcement. Santa Monica's asked for help last night, and we also coordinate in helping with that as well. Chief Maroney mentioned it. Unfortunately, we do have 5 fatalities, and we're praying that number doesn't increase, but there's a lot of work to do, and we'll see what happens there. We are up to 3 looting arrests as we speak. And then the last thing I'd like to leave you with again is earlier I spoke about evacuation warnings, evacuation orders, and a lot of road closures that are taking place in both of these locations. I'm not going to go through them all, but I encourage our community members to go to lacounty.gov/emergency, where you will get updates on those orders, warnings, and road closures. And again, I am really proud of our community overall. Sometimes we talk about the looting and people who aren't listening. I'm going to tell you, 99% of the people are listening, and I think that's why hopefully the injuries and fatalities and all those ugly things will stay down. So thank you to our LA County residents for working with us in partnership. And now I'd like to introduce LADWP General Manager Janice Quiñones.
Thank you and good evening. I'm Janice Quiñones, CEO and Chief Engineer of LADWP. In preparation for the windstorm, LADWP activated its emergency preparation plans and filled all 114 available water reservoirs and storage facilities throughout the city, including the 3 1 million gallon tanks in the Palisades area. We also...
Okay, we heard from her earlier. Okay, the LA County and LA City Public Works is doing their best to provide water for not just the firefighters, but for the citizens. There is a boil water notice. There is a boil water notice, and it's in effect from now until probably forever, at least for the next few days. A boil water notice given for the next few days. You need to be aware of that. It's very serious. You need to take your health seriously. Now, she's going to talk about the water tenders, meaning water trucks from the city and the county that are also helping the fire department refurbishing the fire engines with water, or furnishing the fire engines with water. Because up in the Pacific Palisades area, their hydrants are dry. That's because of Newscomb, Governor Newscomb. When they had rains last year, Newscomb did not fill the reservoirs but let the water run out to the ocean to try to save little millimeter fish, to try to save little tiny millimeter fish in the streams and creeks. They needed to save that water in the reservoirs, but Newscomb let it go out to sea. The state of California needs to take better care of their resources. They need to take better care of the people as well. This is the wake-up call for Newscomb and any other leaders in the state of California. I'm just saying. Now, before we leave tonight, I want to leave you with a word. Okay? I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been leaving this program with a scripture or a devotional, and I'm going to do that again right now. I've gone into 1 Corinthians chapter 3. 1 Corinthians chapter 3. And this chapter reads, "For we are laborers together with God. You are God's husbandry. You are God's building, according to the grace of God which is given unto me as a wise master builder." This is Paul speaking. This is Paul speaking. Now, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. They gave us the scriptures. They gave us the scriptures to live by, and I do that. I live by the scriptures on a daily basis, and I'm giving you this information now because I believe in God. I want all of you to know what God wants us to do. Again, 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 9. For we are laborers together with God. Ye are God's husbandry. Ye are God's building, according to the grace of God which is given unto me as a wise master builder. I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Jesus Christ. Now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, let every man's work be made manifest. For the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire, and the fire shall try every man's work what sort it is. If any man's work abide, which he hath built thereon, he shall receive a reward. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved. Yet so as by fire. Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you? If any man defile the temple of God, him shall God destroy. But the temple of God is holy, which temple ye are. Remember that. Remember that. That applies to each one of us. That applies to each one of us. Now, guys and gals, men and women, brothers and sisters, the time is far spent here. The time is far spent. I think we've now been on the air 2.5 hours, maybe a little bit longer. I'm asking you to pray and ask God for those things that you need. God will give unto you. I promise you that. I found that out over the years. God will bless you. All you have to do is knock, and it shall be opened unto you. That is something that God has given each one of us. Given us, each one of us, the time to pray. He showed us how to pray. It's up to us to do that. Now, if anything else happens tonight, we will be back on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. The same thing goes for tomorrow morning. We will probably be back on the air sometime tomorrow morning with an updated news conference of what's going on in California. I feel very strongly that we need to talk about it. If any major earthquakes happen, if any strong earthquakes happen, we will be back on the air to tell you about that as well. If anything major happens to anyone, we will be back on the air to tell you about it as soon as the information becomes available. Until then, may God bless you. May God be with you this day and always. It's been my privilege to be here with you hosting this program. I love each and every one of you. I will always be here with you for as long as the Lord lets me stay here. May God bless you. May God be with you this day and always. I care. I really care. I've been a servant of the Lord a long time. I love the Lord. I want you to know that. God be with you until we meet again. We will see you on the other side.